Good morning, Ahiah. This is Patricia. I am an emeritus practitioner here at Ahiah. Welcome. And this is our meditation for this morning on St. Patrick's Day. So I'm wishing everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day. So let's just take a deep breath in and out, letting go of everything that has transpired before this moment, allowing our bodies just to relax into our seats, knowing that right where we are is where we are to be at this moment. So just breathing in and hold it, and then release it out. Knowing that each breath we take is the breath of God, the breath of life, the breath of love. Breathing in and hold it, and then release it out. And I'm inviting you to go on a journey with me this morning into that sacred space, wherever it may be for you. It might be your heart space. It may be a sacred place that you allow yourself to go when you just want to quiet and be at peace. And in this sacred space, I invite you to know that there is only one. Allow yourself to merge with that thing we call God, Spirit, love. Just feel yourself becoming one with that power and presence in this sacred place. Allow yourself to feel the love that God is, for that is what you are as well. Remembering that there is only one. And then as you feel this loving, invite peace into this sacred space. That peace that surpasses all understanding. Merging yourself with the loving and the peace. Knowing that this is Spirit. And now invite in joy. Joy that makes you smile, that brings happy memories. That joy that is God itself. Knowing that there's only one joining in this magnificent thing that we call Spirit. I invite you to feel the loving, that unconditional loving that is beyond our comprehension. To feel the peace in the sacred space, that peace that surpasses all understanding we may think we have. And now that wonderful joy that just uplifts your spirit, your soul, and brings back beautiful, happy memories that make you smile. All one in this sacred space, merging in the loving that God is. Imagine yourself enveloped in the arms of the Creator, merging right in with that it is. For you are it, and it is you. Now let's invite in beauty. Whatever that may look like for you, beauty is God, a gift that is given in this world to us. All we need do is recognize it. So bring beauty in and merge it with all that is already there and you as the one. Continue feeling that loving peace, joy, and now the beauty. And today our topic is the beloved community. So I see Ahiah as a beloved community. All of its members and visitors come into the loving that Ahiah is. So let's just send out this beautiful, loving energy of oneness to all of those that visit and members, congregants of Ahiah. Just imagine this beautiful energy. You can make it whatever color you want, just sending it out from your sacred place or your heart, out into the Ahiah community, knowing that this loving presence that we are is being felt by all those that visit, know about, come into Ahiah, whether it be online or in person. Just allow this loving light, healing energy to go out to Ahiah congregants, members, visitors, and guests. Love expands so you can never give away more than what God has to give. Allow it to expand out into the Pasadena community and the California community. You might imagine it as a blanket of loving light, carrying the love, that peace, the joy, and the beauty that God is and you are, right here and right now. Sending it out to your families, and those that may be your teachers that you don't particularly care for. Send it to them too. Energy is everywhere present. There's not a spot that the God energy is not. So just know that you're activating the beauty, the loving, the peace, and the joy in our world. And we're going to send it out to the entire United States, knowing that it knows where to go, where it is needed to touch the hearts of those that may not know of it. They can still feel it, not knowing what it is. So use your imagination and just cover the United States in this loving, healing, beautiful, peaceful energy. And then we're going to send it out into the world, covering Mother Earth, touching every continent, the oceans, all the shrubbery, trees, animals. Just allow this blanket to cover Mother Earth, going down to the core and expanding back out into the atmosphere. Just imagine Mother Earth covered in this blanket of loving, healing energy, filled with beauty and peace and joy. The divine feminine coming forth. That loving, nurturing, feminine energy that is gentle, compassionate, loving, and kind. And know that the divine feminine that is within each one of us is present and is allowing us to soften in this peaceful, loving energy right here and right now. Softening in the loving and the kindness. Becoming a gentle spirit that we know God is. And as we send it out, knowing that it is doing its work as God always does through its creations, I invite you to bring it back to yourself and allow yourself, your entire total being, to not only feel this energy but become this loving energy of light, of beauty, of peace, of joy. Knowing that you are God's Spirit. God is expressing life as each one of us, through us and as us, for we are creations of the Most High. That love just totally expands to us and to all that we do, all that we come in contact with, all that we love. We are expressions of God. And with so much gratitude and appreciation for just knowing who we are, for knowing that God is always with us, that we are not only emanations, we are that God is. So I invite you to allow yourself, not only this day, but every day, to express the loving peace, joy, beauty, and harmony that God is in you as you. And just knowing that this sacred place and this oneness that you are is always available to you. As we bring our meditation to a close, I invite you to allow yourself to feel yourself in your seat. You can move your fingers or your toes, just bringing yourself back to this present moment. Just with so much gratitude and appreciation. When you're ready, you may open your eyes. And I thank you for being present here with me this morning. Our meditation will start shortly.
Actually, today we have something different for you today, so I'm going to ask Harris to come on up, and he's got a song for us. I've got the chair.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for the meditation, Patricia. That was rad. I wasn't originally planning on playing drums with this, but it was suggested, and part of our philosophy is that we have to say yes to things that get us out of our comfort zone. But that also feel good, you know. And this is a big gratitude song for me, and I'm really grateful that I can share it with all of you. I got air in my lungs, I'm so lucky. I got shoes on my feet, I'm so lucky. Got a roof over my head, I'm lucky. I got water to drink, I'm so lucky. Got light in my eyes, I'm so lucky. I got love in my life, I'm so lucky. I got fate on my side, I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. I do what I love every day. I always make a way out of no way. In this life you give more than you take. All my life I give my heart away, 'cause I know it'll come back 3 times. I won't trade money for a peace of mind. Always keep my eyes on the prize. Sunrise, look up to the skies. Got air in my lungs, I'm so lucky. I got shoes on my feet, I'm so lucky. Got a roof over my head, I'm lucky. I got water to drink, I'm so lucky. Got light in my eyes, I'm so lucky. I got love in my life, I'm so lucky. fate on my side. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky. Yeah. Thank you.
And I'm so lucky. We're all lucky. We're lucky to be here today, this beautiful St. Patrick's Day. So, who's wearing green? Got some green on? Yeah? All right. Where did that tradition come of pinching people if they didn't wear green? What's that all about? I never did understand it. But there's a nice ring to St. Patrick's Day, just the meaning of it, celebrating your roots, whatever your roots are today. And just knowing that there's those traditions that are yours, your family traditions, the traditions that mean something to you are alive and well. And so one of the traditions we have is to do a Sunday celebration on Sundays right here at Ahiah. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I want to say thank you to a few of the people who make that possible, starting here with our band. I'm going to start off today with Harris Silcott in the back. And then our guest singer today is Elizabeth, even though she's not really a guest. She is Ahiah through and through. And we have Chris Glick, our music director, and we've got Leon and Satoshi here today also. And then we have some people who are a little more behind the scenes. We've got Frederick here who does our sound. We have, I see Sandra and Jackie in the back who are our greeters today. Thank you so much for that. And so let's go ahead and get started this morning. You know, we're so lucky here today. And one thing that we can start off with and feel lucky is a gratitude song, really. You know, it falls really very much into that theme. So let's go ahead. If you'd like to stand, go ahead. We're going to do a congregational. The lyrics are right up here. Take it away.
Thank you for all I am. Thank you for all you are. Thank you for all that is. Thank you. Thank you, star.
Good morning, Ahiah, again, and welcome all of our members and guests. I'm going to start with an invocation, and then I'm going to do a reading that's a little different than what I usually do. But with that song of thanks and the oneness of our meditation, let's just turn within with gratitude, appreciation, and love. Just knowing that right where we are, God is. And in the spaciousness of gratitude and appreciation, I recognize God as all there is. God as the intelligence, the beauty, the peace, the love, the joy, and so much more. Just knowing that nature and all the attributes that God is, I am. I am is the truth of me. And as I know this truth for myself, I know it for each one here, each one online, each one that is part of Ahiah. I know that right here, right now, the I am is expressing life as each one of us. For that is what God does. And I declare that this service, the rising of the divine feminine, which is very appropriate for March, for it is Women's History Month, the divine feminine is coming forth. And through our talk today, the beloved community, that divine feminine is expressing life as love and nurturing, as a kindness and a gentleness. And that beloved community I see as Ahiah. So I know this service is blessed. Reverend Scott, our speakers, our musicians, our volunteers, all of those working in the kitchen for the youth event or fundraiser are blessed in this loving that God is. So with extreme gratitude and again appreciation of life itself, I say thank you, God. Thank you for all that is and for God being God in each one of us. Thank you, infinite divine Spirit, for the blessings that are being bestowed upon each one of us right here and right now. I am truly grateful. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. So, I didn't feel like the reading from the Science of Mind was appropriate today, so I made up my own. They did have one quote. It says, "We realize our oneness through our connection to each other." And that's by Chris Michael, Your Soul's Assignment. But our theme, the rising of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is the feminine aspect of the divine power that connects and binds the earth. She is the goddess of energy that exists within all of us. Many of the divine feminine qualities are centered on themes of the inner world: intuition, compassion, nurturing, creativity, sensuality, and much more. It's very heart-centered. She's wise, she's accepting, forgiving, collaborative, and loving, of course. So this is not only the age of the Aquarius, it is the return of the divine feminine. I said the return of the divine feminine. Like the roar of Mother Earth engaging a dormant volcano, the divine feminine in all her aspects both shadow and light, which we all have, is reclaiming her truth. She is reclaiming her power, and she is reclaiming her innocence. One of the roles of the divine feminine is to burn through all illusion, beginning with herself and ending with society. The illusion is what the masses are used to consuming, because the truth is what most are not prepared or willing to digest, at least yet. This takes me to the beloved community, which is our topic today, by Reverend Scott. And Martin Luther King Jr. described the beloved community. He did not start it, but he sort of brought it forward as a society where caring and compassion drive political policies that support the worldwide elimination of poverty and hunger and all forms of bigotry and violence. At its core, the beloved community is an engine of reconciliation, a community in which everyone is cared for, absent of poverty, hunger, and hate. Reverend King popularized the term during his lifetime of activism and imbued it with new meaning, fueled by his faith that such a community was in fact possible. The word community is without question central to human existence. Being part of an engaging community gives us a sense of belonging. It enables us to share personal relatedness and support perpetual growth of each other, ourselves, and our environment. To build a beloved community, we must truly love our neighbors as we love ourselves. That means we have to love ourselves first in order to be able to love someone else. I lost my place. Oh, I sure did. To build a beloved, we will do the work in our practices, our programs, and our networks that brings equity to our efforts and helps bring justice to the communities in which we work and live. I invite you to be part of an engaging community here at Ahiah. I see Ahiah as a beloved community. It is having a sense of community which embraces spirit, character, image, and pride, and is a vital element of a healthy community. It is a feeling that people within the community matter to one another with a shared faith that their needs will be met through commitment and togetherness. Being a part of a community can make us feel as though we are part of something greater than ourselves, which we are. There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about, and that quote is by Margaret J. Wheatley. And there are so many positive aspects of belonging to an engaging community or group. And we here at Ahiah provide unique opportunities for people to learn from each other and give support and encouragement, and are an invaluable part of joining forces with our peers and our congregants. Thank you. Blessings.
Thank you, Patricia. I forgot to introduce Patricia earlier. Patricia is one of our practitioner emeritus here at Ahiah. We are blessed to have 11 practitioners here at Ahiah. And so I'm very happy about that. And so we have Elizabeth up here, but before we do that, I want to There's Patricia's slide. I was wondering where it went. I just want to remind everybody that everyone is welcome here, that this place called Ahiah, is open and inviting to everyone, no matter what your race, color, creed, sexuality, no matter what. And so this is a great opportunity for us to just turn to our neighbors and give them a nice, warm Ahiah welcome. And I'm going to send some welcoming energy to the kitchen where we have people getting ready for our teen baked potato loaded with love event after service. So if you're here today, it's a $10 baked potato, and the money, the proceeds of that go to sending our teens to camp. And if you're in your PJamas, as Reverend Mike would say, and at home, first of all, welcome. And then second of all, consider, getting a little dolled up, a little dressed up, so you can come on down and have a baked potato. So, Elizabeth, what do you have for us today?
All right. This song is about building a community and using our hands and our hearts to do so. Good morning, everyone. I can change the world with my own two hands, make it a better place. With my own two hands, make it a kinder place. With my own two hands, with my own two hands, I can make peace on earth. With my own two hands, I can clean up the earth. With my own two hands, and I can reach out to you. With my own two hands, with my own two hands, I'm gonna make it a brighter place. With my own two hands, gonna make it a safer place. With my own two hands, I'm gonna help the human race. With my own two hands, with my own two hands. And I can hold you with my own two hands, and I can comfort you with my own two hands. But you gotta use your own two hands, use your own two hands. With our own two hands. With our own two hands. with my own, with my own two hands.
Beautiful. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you, band. And so this month of March, is Rise of the Divine Feminine. And there's a lady, her name is Gabrielle Bernstein. She has a saying about, a quote about what it means, the rise of the divine feminine. She says, the rise of the divine feminine is a call to reclaim our power, to embrace our authenticity, and to create a world rooted in love, harmony, and equality. And you know, we often say that phrase, reclaim our power. I find that to be an interesting phrase because it's not claim it, it's reclaim it, which means that we have had that power at some point, right? If we're going to reclaim something, we had to have it at some point. And that's true of us, isn't it? We all have a spiritual, divine birthright. The power that Spirit is our birthright. And so if we feel like we need to reclaim it, it means that, you know, it's not here anymore. We've had it, but it's not here. So the question to me is, where did it go? You know, is it out there hiding somewhere? Maybe it's lost, like a little puppy trying to find its way back to us. Or maybe somebody stole our power. Is that true? Well, I don't really think that's true. I don't think anybody can steal our power away from us because it is a divine birthright. That means that we always have it. It's always in touch with us. We always have claim to it. But what we can do is if we feel like we don't have it, it's absolutely true that we can give away our power. Right? It's not that it's stolen from us. It's not taken from us. We've given it away. And so, you know, if we gave it away, then how did we do that? How did we give away our power? Especially if we want it back. How did we give it away in the first place? Well, there are a number of ways that we can give our power away. One of them is to blame others or the circumstances that surround a situation. We give our power away when we do that. When we say that it's others' fault. You know, we require them to change in order to get our power back then. That's not a place of power if we require someone else to change. But if we say that it's ours, we can change. Another way that we give our power away is to conform to other people's expectations. Who's ever done that? Right? I don't want to do this. This is not what I really want to do, but it's expected of me. Those words, right? Expected of me. And so I'll go ahead and do it. But when I do that, I've given away my power. Another one is we make fear-based decisions. Who would ever do that, right? Yeah, you know, that can look so many ways. But a big one is running away. Right? So often when we make a fear-based decision, what it means is that I'm going to turn and I'm going to run away. And the way that running away looks like, it can look like a lot of different things, right? It looks like giving up. It looks like moving away to some place far away. There's a term for it in today's world the kids use called ghosting, right? They ghost people, which just means that they completely cut them out of their contacts. They don't talk to them anymore. But it's not like they say goodbye, they just ghost them, right? And so there's lots of ways that we give our power away. Even when we don't really feel like it in the moment, we are. And so the question is, well, what can we do to reclaim our power if we have given it away? Well, if we're blaming others or the circumstances around things, well, we can actually take responsibility. You know, that can be kind of a bitter pill sometimes. But what I find for myself is that when I take responsibility for it, then now I have the ability to change it. If it's mine, if I'm responsible for it and it's mine, then I can change what's going on. I can live my own life. What a concept that is. You know, when I'm living the expectations of other people, am I living my life? Not really. So how do I go about living my life? Well, I live my life from a place then of what are my desires? What are my needs? What are my wants? Now, it doesn't mean that I'm not doing things out in the world for other people. But, I hadn't thought about this in a while, but it just came to me. I had a teacher. She was a practitioner at the church I grew up in. And she would say, if you asked her to do something, she would stop and she would think about it. And then she would turn to you and go, well, what's in it for me? Right? What's in it for me? And what I've learned is that sounds like it is, I don't know, somebody give me a word. What does it sound like? It sounds selfish. That's a good word. Thank you, Britt. It does sound selfish, doesn't it? What's in it for me? But I've learned from that experience from her. What's in it for me is an important aspect that we need to keep in mind. Whenever we're doing something, there should be something in it for me. That's the way life is supposed to work. That things that we do, it's for us, it can also be for other people at the very same time. In fact, when Spirit is leading the way, that's the way it is. Everything I do is a benefit to me, and also it is a benefit to those who are around me. You know, when I went into ministerial school, they have or they used to, they don't anymore, but they used to have a panel of ministers that you had to go sit in front of 3 ministers, and they would ask you a bunch of questions, and if you passed the panel, then you went into ministerial school, otherwise you didn't. And one of their questions that they had for me is why are you going to ministerial school? It's a very simple question, isn't it? Should have an obvious answer. But it's not always obvious to people. And I said to them, well, I'm going to ministerial school because I want to learn more and deepen my spiritual practices and my spiritual knowing for me. And they broke out in laughter and said, that's exactly right. Because that's the way it should be. We should do things that are for us. And then, of course, instead of making fear-based decisions, let's base our decisions based on our intuition. Why? Because that's Spirit speaking to us. We listen to our heart, not our head. And that's Spirit telling us what is the best path forward. What's the path forward that is best, not just for you, but for everyone? So let me ask you guys, do you have some other ones? Some other ways of reclaiming your power? Got any thoughts? I'm sorry? Yeah? Are you willing to do that, Brent? Absolutely. That's great. That's right. That is exactly right. Anybody else like one of these or want to claim another way of reclaiming your power? Living in the present. I like that. And notice that these are all aspects of the divine feminine. Patricia did a great job of kind of listing some of those qualities of the divine feminine. Nurturing is an aspect of the divine feminine. Listening to ourselves, to our intuition, is divine feminine. I've got another one for you. Something that we do, that I've definitely done in the past, is that allows me to give away my power, is sacrifice my own personal needs for other reasons. Now that's kind of similar to the Joanne thing, isn't it? You know, of you know, the way to reclaim the power is to know that it's for me. What is in it for me? But that idea of sacrificing for our own personal needs for other people, if we're not getting anything back, that is a way of giving away our power. And so we want to stand in our power. Right? Take a firm stance. Be in your own personal power. Why? Not because you can be more than anyone else, because we all have that same personal power, that divine power of creativity moving through and as us. But we want to take it all in. We want to express that divine through us. We want to be coming from that place of the divine feminine, right? So I'm going to ask another one of our practitioners, Myrna Morales, who, by the way, is, do you mind if I share? She is starting ministerial school in, 2 weeks? Wow. So remember, it's all about you, right? Do you want this one or that one?
Thank you. Good morning. This is so exciting to be up here. Hey, you guys, did you see the flowers? Spring is here. Almost one more week. I am always nervous when I get up here, and then I see all of your beautiful faces, and I start to relax and settle down a little bit. My talk today is, the title is To Be Pulled by a Vision. And I have, Scott and I created a class that it's called Vision Reset. And on Wednesday, we had the 9th class, so we have one more class. And you know, as a teacher, I'm wondering if I impacted people's lives in a positive way, and how is what I'm teaching, what I'm sharing with the people that are in the class, impacting them and changing, helping them to open up to a new dimension of their lives. And so I sat and we started asking questions, and when I started, I decided that we needed to do homework. And so the homework is every week, journaling, meditation, and affirmations, and the gratitude. The 3 things that I'm grateful for every day. And so I asked, well, how did the homework go? And I could see the faces of these people, the lives changing, and the luminosity coming right through. And I decided, well, this is my talk. Because I talked to Reverend Scott, and I had written, and you know, this is about me, that I really like to over-prepare. But I'm happy to say that I only have 3 pages today. Last week it was like 14. But I get that my mind takes over and wants to communicate more than my heart, because my heart sometimes is afraid to show up. And so I decided that luminosity of my spirit is not coming from my head, it's coming from my heart. And so though I did prepare for the talk today, I wanted to come more from my heart instead of reading today. I still have to read a little bit. So I realized that as we were talking to the students on Wednesday, that there is change in their lives, and that's really why we go to class, isn't it? That there is a vision that begins to pull us in the direction of thriving instead of surrendering to whatever is going on in the world. Because is there a lot of negativity out there? Yes, there is. So do we focus on the negativity? Do we listen to the news, or we decide that we're going to change our mindset, that we're going to dream a new dream? And I love that about Reverend Luther King when he said that. It's a new vision for my life, a new vision for my world, a new vision for Ahiah, a new vision for the sacred community that we all belong to. So the news, we get to experience a lot of really the worst of humanity as it is being projected on a regular basis. But I like the idea of dreaming a new dream, to create a new reality for myself, for my world, because that really is the important part, isn't it? Because we have created all of this. So if we have created all of this, we also have the opportunity to change our creation. And we're not going to change our creation of a world the way it is by diving into what the world is showing us, because that's not reality. The reality can be changed in my mind. And that's how I want to project my life. I want to project my life so that my kids can learn to live from the inside out. That's the whole point, to live from the vision that the Spirit is bringing to us. And it's so important to write it, right? Because I get distracted. So if I don't sit and write what it is that I want to create in my own life, I get distracted by the news, by whatever is going on in front of my house or whatever. So how about if we truly decided to do the homework? Start journaling on a daily basis. Start sitting in meditation. Do you think that would change something in our lives? Do you think that our society would be a better place because we did the homework? Because it's not just about us, it's about the energy that we're projecting in our world, right? Remember the proverbial little stone that gets thrown on the lake and the ripple effects? The whole lake? That's life. That's each one of us. We are that little stone that goes into the lake and it starts building a ripple effect on who we are and what we are projecting into our world. So do I want to allow the negativity to enter my home, the space where I live? No. I want to create my own sacredness. I want to create the idea, the energy that I live from the inside out, that it's Spirit guiding my life. That's what a vision is. A vision is Spirit guiding our lives forward, projecting a new reality that we can create for ourselves and for our world. And if you guys have kids, wow, this is the most important part, right? Because I'm not showing my kids that I'm just going to retire at 62 and I'm going to sit and watch novelas and you know, just cry when whatever is going on in somebody else's life. No, I get to step up. I get to take classes. I get to come to a new church. I get to come to a new minister. I get to meet a new life that is just bustling with energy for myself. I'm excited to get up in the morning. I'm excited to sit on my kitchen table and write the talks. And you know what? I talked to Reverend Scott. I texted Reverend Scott, and I told him what my talk was going to be about. And then I started, oh no, I said this, and this is not the talk. So I decided to rewrite it. And so I rewrote the talk, and then I decided, but this is really not what I wanted to talk about. So see, the energy, the joyfulness that I live with is getting up at 5 in the morning to write a new talk. And to know that to be pulled by a vision is really what I want to talk about. Because that is life. So, you know, I like walking. And every once in a while, I go to Macy's, and you know the Macy's here in Pasadena, they have the steps going up. But isn't it much easier to go on the elevator and just press the button? Right? The vision is that. The vision is the elevator that is taking you to new heights. But the heights that is taking you is the vision of who you are. Not the vision of you being, sitting in hiding, being small, because we are not that. God didn't send us here to be small. God sent us here to allow the luminosity of our spirit to shine through. That's how we change our world. That's how we improve our lives. We can't believe in the misery of humanity because that is not true. That is what people have created to keep us down, to control us, to take our freedom away, to take our dreams away. We have to learn to dream a new dream. That's who we are. That's why we're here, to build on what God created for us. That is love emanating from the inside out. Because that is really, truly the essence of our beingness. So Mahatma Gandhi said, to be the change we wanted to see in the world, we can live a new dream. Why not? What holds us back? Dreams don't cost anything. In fact, we pay more, not by money, but we pay more by suffering than we do by dreaming a new dream. So the new dream is what? Whatever we want it to be. For me, it's for my children to be happy, for a world of peace, for a world of love, for a world where I can get up in the morning and say, I'm happy to be alive, because I am. But this is change that is occur over time because I continue to put myself in places where I can grow. Right? Coming to Ahiah was a big step. I'd been at the church where I was before for 10 years. And then when the minister retired, I realized that I was really bored there. And Scott asked me, well, are you growing here? And I said, no. And so I made an appointment with Basha. Most of you know Basha. And I met with her. She did some treatments on my body, and then we started talking about Ahiah, and we started talking about other churches over here. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to go to Ahiah. I'm going to see what that's about. And we came here a few times, and I fell in love with the youth ministry. I fell in love with Reverend Scott. I fell in love with the community that we have. And I thought, that place is jumping with joy. I want to go there. Right? And Gabriel, I know you're watching, so I have to tell you that I love the cactuses. And if you know that this is the best time of the year to go to the desert, you're going to see a lot of flowers. You're going to see a lot of beautiful stuff. So, hey, this is the perfect manifestation for my talk today. I created this. Thank you, Gabriel. And so, you know, I'm living a dream where I wrote some classes, where I have been manifesting a new vision in my life, where I know I'm now certain that I am helping people change their minds, right? One of my students is 82 years old. She grew up in Science of Mind, and she had forgotten to journal. She had forgotten to sit in meditation. And when you see her talking about it now, it's like, oh my goodness, she's so happy, you know, because she's now coming from the inside out again, because that's what journaling does. You sit down and write, and spirit starts talking to us, right? Especially for some of us that might have a little bit of a hard time not quieting the mind as well as what we're supposed to do in meditation. So I get to live the freedom that a vision creates. I can jump in the elevator and go up easily, effortlessly, because what Reverend Michael Beckwith said, pain pushes you until your vision pulls you. And isn't being pulled by a vision so much easier than being in the painful experience of life? Because that's what we have created. But we can change it. And we can change it. It's just a little thought different. My life is always unfolding in divine perfection. I live from the inside out. I am grateful to be alive. I am grateful for my body, even if sometimes it doesn't feel well. I am grateful that I am allowing my life to shine. I am grateful that I'm standing here after days and days and days of writing and rewriting and just finally settling down and saying, I want to be pulled by my vision. I want my heart to talk because I'm tired of reading. I like what I write, though. So I get to choose to be clear on what the vision for my life is and write it down. That is one of the most important parts about creativity. When you commence to change your life, when you begin to decide that you can live a new dream, write it down. Write it down and you start to feel the gratitude for the dreams that have already been accomplished. Because that really is the creative aspect of it, right? So I get to tap into and use the central nervous systems of consciousness and synchronize with the superconductor, which is my vision. That is the vision. The vision is what pulls us. Write a new vision. I heard that when we write our vision, something amazing happens in our brain. It begins to synchronize together and magic begins to happen. This is how we heal ourselves. When we sit and write the vision down and feel the emotions of realizing our dreams, that's when we start to feel gratitude for them. And that's when true healing begins in our lives. That's the essence of writing a vision, is changing the tape. You know, I grew up with the idea. My mother, when she was upset, she would say, "You would never be more than," right? And it kept me small for so many years until I realized that it was up to me. I found Science of Mind. I started taking every single class that I could take. And I started to change my tapes, the tapes that were kept running in my life. And I started to decide, I started to choose. I started to create an intention for what I wanted my life to become. And here I am, standing in front of you. I'm nervous. Yeah, my mouth is dried and, you know, I'm a little shaky still. But I'm doing it. I'm living my vision. Isn't that what life is about? Yes, it is. So what are you willing to create in your own life? Magic, passion, abundance, gratitude, allowance, a magical life. Imagine that. Imagine getting up every morning and knowing that God is just opening a new door for you, that there are no closed doors, that you are the only one that can open the doors in your own life because God is giving them to you to open. You know, when I was very young, I fell in love with the English language, and I had my English professor. And one time he said, you know, Jesus came here to open the door, and we stopped and decided to adore the door. And it didn't make a lot of sense to me at the time, but I started to understand that Jesus didn't come here for us to adore him. He came here to open doors for us, doors of consciousness. And we're finally now, after 2,000 plus years, are beginning to understand that we are the ones that have the key. The key is ours. We can choose it. We can intend a life of our dreams instead of settling for less than. So, let's light the way. Let the vision elevate you to a grand dream that allows you to enter into the beloved community with a new understanding. And I love what the Course in Miracles says. The Course in Miracles calls it a holy encounter. And it says, when you meet anyone, remember, it is a holy encounter. As you see him, you will see yourself. As you treat her, you will treat yourself. And as you think of him, you will think of yourself. So remember that the beloved community is each one of us looking at each other and seeing a holy person right in front of us. Look at all the holiness in this hall. Look at all the holiness that is showing up here with the musicians, Reverend Scott, Patricia, myself, the people that are in the kitchen cooking, Lisa doing the children's ministry. Oh my goodness, there's so much amazing energy here. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, Myrna. By the way, just in case you're wondering, there are two Scotts in this sanctuary right now. Scott over there, and that's Reverend Scott over here. So, yeah. All right. So the talk title, as it's been said, is "In the Beloved Community," and you know, Dr. Martin Luther King made that popular, as Patricia was mentioning. And I think it really kind of caught the imagination of our society. It's caught with us, beloved community. Who doesn't want to live in the beloved community? And so when we started working here at Ahiah on racial issues and learning what we needed to do in order to create a safe community here. By the way, our monthly meeting for creating the beloved community is tomorrow at 7 o'clock in our Zoom room. So if you'd like to join us there, that would be wonderful. But we learned there how to create safe space, because that is a part of a beloved community. But what he was talking about really is he was talking about a society that's based on radical love. Radical love. When I read that being attributed to him, I was a little surprised, because I thought radical love, it's kind of a buzz term that's going around, today over the last, 10 years or something. I didn't realize that it stretched back into Martin Luther King's time. But it's, something like radical love, that kind of a phrase, it's easy to say, but what does it really mean? What does that term mean? Well, I think radical love, first and foremost, as Patricia mentioned, is that radical love starts with us. We cannot create radical love if we have not embraced our own inherent worth and power. There's that word again, isn't it? Power. There's nothing wrong with being a powerful human being. Nothing wrong whatsoever with that. And then once we have gotten through that radical love of ourselves, now we have to radically love other people. And what does that look like? Well, it looks, in order to do that, we have to cultivate compassion. We have to cultivate empathy for other people. Where are they on their path? How does that look? And how can I support them? And then we have to radically love within our society also. And that looks like courageously confronting injustice and inequality. That's ours to do. That's what we need to do in society. And so to create the beloved community, we have to stand and understand what the opposite is. We have to understand what the opposite of radical love is, which is radical hate. And radical hate is, comes from an ideological or racial hatred. It's also dehumanization and scapegoating. We hear a lot of that in the news nowadays, especially the scapegoating part. You know, tying to immigrants problems that they're not creating. They're just not. There's no proof for it, but yet it becomes a scapegoating issue. There's radical hate is also propaganda and hate speech. And so in order to create a beloved community, though, we have to take a stand against all those aspects, and there are more aspects of radical hate. The thing I want you to realize, though, is that passion is what's creating both, right? Passion is it's a powerful force in life. It's a powerful force in society. And so as we get people pumped up about things, you know, the passion leads them to one of these two camps. And so, you know, I don't know that it's easy to fall into the radical hate camp, but it seems to be. You know, it just seems like there's so many people that are not willing to do the work. So what do? Well, I think we have to allow passion to bring us towards radical love. We have to have the passion within us to take the steps that we know are needed in order to do what we need to do to spread the word that we are a place of love, that love is what needs to be created in this society. And we need to do it just as vociferously, loudly. Right? Need to do it loudly out in the world. You know? We can't afford to be drowned out by radical hate. You know, Martin Luther King, he says this. He says, I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Too great a burden to bear. Let me ask you to think about that for just a second. We all, you know, hate is no stranger to anybody. You know, when's the last time you said, I hated something? You know, oftentimes it just comes off without us even noticing. You know, I hate that. And when we do, when we live in that energy, even if it's for a moment, take that moment to study and feel your body. What is your body telling you? Is there tension in your body? Is there, you know, an aspect within you where you don't feel well when we allow hate to come in? And here's the one that's always telling for me. How well did you sleep that night? Right? Because I know that when I get all wound up, it's not the sleep of angels, right? You know, I get wound up about people or places or things, and I don't sleep well. And so that tells us that burden is there. That burden from hate lives in our body. And in fact, in creating the beloved community, we have been talking about that. The trauma that lives in our body, we call it, or Resma Menachem calls it, dirty pain. And the choice that we have, as I mentioned in the newsletter this week, the choice we have is either to let that dirty pain sit there and continue to feel it, or do what's necessary to turn it into clean pain. The difference between those two, right? Pain's on both sides. Dirty pain will stick around forever. clean pain will come, and then you release it. So I wanted to let you know that our own philosophy here has a vision statement, right? Myrna Morales was talking about vision and having your vision pull you. Well, there are, in our global visions statement, there's 10 individual statements. I'm not going to go through all of them. They're beautiful statements, but I did want to bring 2 of them forward. The first one is, we see a world in which each and every person lives in alignment with their highest spiritual principle, emphasizing unity with God and connection with each other, a world in which individually and collectively we are all called to a higher state of consciousness or conscious action. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that nice? Isn't that something that I can sit there and go, I can hold that vision. I can hold that vision, and then I can allow Spirit to work through me. The last of the 10 is one that's nice and sweet and simple. And so I put it up here. It's, we envision a world that works for everyone and for all of creation. For everyone and all of creation. I can get behind that too. Don't you want to live in a world that works for everyone? So how do we do that? How do we create that world? Well, first of all, you know, as Gabrielle Bernstein said, I reclaim my power. I'm going to reclaim my power. I'm going to take responsibility. I'm going to live my own life. I'm going to trust in Spirit. And I'm going to see that I'm going to know that my needs are important. But I'm going to do one other thing. Not only am I going to live that for myself, I'm going to use those same ideas and I'm going to allow other people to reclaim their power too. And so, while I'm going to take responsibility, I'm also going to allow people around me to take responsibility, right? How many of you are parents? Raise 3. One thing I always worked with my kids was natural consequences, right? There's a difference between natural consequences and consequences that I create for them. If I allow them to live the natural consequences of their actions, they actually learn. It's like touching the stove when it's hot, right? How many times do you do that? But if I keeping them from, diverting them from the consequences that they have, they don't learn, and I become responsible. Also, while I want to live my own life, I want to let other people live their own life too. Right? That's important. Allow them to claim their power. And while I want to trust in Spirit, that also means that I trust that they have their own answers. Right? I don't have to give advice. I don't have to tell people what to do. They have their own answers that are the right ones for them. And while my needs are important, I want to recognize that their needs are important too. And if we did this for ourselves and for each other, then we could live in the beloved community. So in reclaiming my power, I also recognize that I am important. Sometimes people don't recognize how important they are. And so I recognize that I'm important, that my needs matter, that my ideas matter, that my actions matter. And coming from that place, we can say this affirmation together. Let's say it together. I am an important part of my beloved community. Let's say that again. I am an important part of my beloved community. So as you go out into your week this week, I just want you to take away these things that we've talked about today. Reclaiming your power, take responsibility, live your own life, trust in spirit, and know that your needs are important. And then live from that place of radical love. Let go of radical hate. You know, your body does not want it. And know that hate is just too much burden to bear. And as we do all that, we allow others to reclaim their own power. And as I tell you every week, if you are confused or anything about any of this, it's okay. Just let Spirit guide you. Thank you, Chris. So we're going to take this moment right here, right now, to anchor these ideas in with some prayer, knowing absolutely that God is the source of that radical love. That the love that God is radical in nature because it is infinite in nature. It is the love that creates this universe and gives it to everything, to all consciousness. It is the love that accepts us exactly as we are. It is the love that is behind every relationship. As that's true of God, what I know it to be is the truth of me also, that this life divine is the truth of each and every one of us. And as we move through life, we get to have and feel and embody this love. I know absolutely that as we create that love in our lives more and more, what we're doing is we are reaching out. We are touching other people with our love. We are creating the beloved community in all of its grandeur. We are creating a safe space around us, each and every one of us. And for knowing that truth, I just give thanks. And I release this prayer to the law, knowing that it's already fulfilled in the mind that God is. And I say life and God are good and very good. And together we say, and so it is. Amen and amen. And so now is the time for our conscious contributions. And so if you're here in the sanctuary today, we have offering envelopes in the pews. You can go ahead and put your name on that if you wish. And if you are online with us today, there are 3 ways for you to give that are online. One is to go to ahiah.com/donate and hit the breeze button or the give butter button. Either one will take you to some place where you can give online. Another one is to use our text to give by texting the word give to 616-229-2225. And the last one is to send a check in that's showing on to the address showing on your screen. However you do that, I want you to know that everything that comes in here supports not just Sunday service, not just our youth program, not just sending our teens to teen camp. It also serves to fund all the things that we do throughout the week. We have healing service, we have book study, we have groups that come in here. And so let's just go ahead and take whatever our offering is, our conscious contribution, hold it to our chest, and say this blessing together. This gift I give is God in action. I send it forth with joy, confidence, and ease. I am blessed by the law of giving and receiving, as I now share my gift with life. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is. Amen and amen. And so now I'd like to ask Elizabeth to come on up. She's going to sing us another song. What you got for us, Elizabeth?
All right, this is a song about let your love flow. Well, there's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason while I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love cannot hide. Will be the stealing through the moonlight rise with your love. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's a reason. And let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let love bind you to the smallest of things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, it's the reason. Well, there's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for candlelight. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space, lay you under His loving embrace. Just feel the thunder as it warms your face. You can't hold back. Oh, just let your love flow like a mountain stream. Let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the reason. Yeah, yeah, let the birds fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine. And you know what I mean, that's the reason. You got it, Chris. Oh, let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love flow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Yeah, 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 let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let the love bind you with the smallest of things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, it's the reason. Yeah, 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 let your love grow like a mountain stream. Let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show. And you'll know what I mean, it's the season. Yeah, let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love bind you to the smallest of things, and let your love shine. And you'll know what I mean, it's the reason. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Woo. All right.
Let's give another round of applause
Thanks
to
for
the
singing
band.
along.
I think there's some smoke coming off that piano today, Chris. I don't know. You want to give us a little bit of music? They're already right here, but we can welcome our kids.
Good morning. So Friday night at the Women's Circle, we had a icebreaker question, which was, what brings you happiness physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? And for me, it's this right here.
Yes.
What we do. Most important thing that I do. And we're going to start. Alejandra, do you want to talk? Okay, we'll start with Alejandra.
We read about a book that was about you have to think of the important things of life because you can't think it's always so boring.
If we think it's boring, who might be boring?
You?
You. Yeah, that's on your butterfly.
Then I made a butterfly. Oh, a butterfly.
We are extremely privileged to have an actual artist, a real artist, a person that makes their living doing painting, and she's amazing, so I try to take advantage of that when we can. The rest of it will be about the teens. They have an announcement to make.
How are you guys? So we have a fundraiser today for potatoes, and it goes towards our camp. So y'all should pull through. Like,
Okay. So we have the baked potatoes, and the toppings are we have cheese, sour cream, chili, onions, and chives.
wait, hold on. They $10. I forgot to say that.
They're big.
They're big.
They're your lunch and dinner.
Lunch and dinner.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for all your support.
Yes, thank you for all your support, absolutely. So let's see, hot potatoes loaded with love. And then also today, I like your glasses, those are good. Also today we have the men's group. Frederick, you want to say a word?
Yay. Good morning, good morning. Thank you. The men will be meeting in the classroom. Lunch and drinks are provided. And our topic today is, what do we do to express ourselves? How do we express ourselves when we get into a jam? So that's our open discussion today. Look forward to seeing you there at 1 o'clock. Thank you.
And then at 4 o'clock today, we have a kirtan with a sound bath, and the sound bath is just absolutely stunningly beautiful. And the kirtan is some chanting, Buddhist chanting, and it's in Sanskrit, yeah. And it's not hard. It's, you just listen in, and if you don't want to chant, it's okay. Just be in that energy. And it's absolutely beautiful. That's at 4 o'clock from 4 to 6 today. And then tomorrow is Creating the Beloved Community, as I mentioned earlier. Join Reverend Mike and I, along with, we've got Kelly and Marcia and Reverend Jane Midgley also. And then I want to let you guys know that we are hosting AMA again this year. They were here last year. It hasn't even been a full year. I think it was last fall. And they're here again this year. So on the 4th or on the 5th, which is a Friday, put that on your calendar. If you want to come in to see Alma, she gives you a blessing, and it's absolutely 100% free. And it is a little bit of a wait. Last year I saw people waiting from 1 to 2 hours, but they have seating and everything, and then they call you up, and it's a beautiful environment to be in. But if you have never been blessed by Alma, it is quite the experience. And then we have on the 7th, that's the following Sunday, we have our annual meeting, and I'll be letting you know more about that next week. And then a quick video from Reverend Jane.
Hello, everyone. Reverend Jane Midgley coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hello, everyone. Reverend Jane Midgley coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was so wonderful to be in person with you last month.
And I'm really excited to let you know that Reverend Scott and I will be co-facilitating a 4-week workshop session. And it starts Monday, April 8th from 6 to 8 p.m. on Zoom. And it's titled Embodying Racial Justice for White Folks. And this has 2 purposes. First, we want to develop and enjoy community with each other. And second, to participate in a safe and loving space to explore the internalization of our racist culture on ourselves and how it's diminished and affected our lives, and also work toward healing from all of that and strengthening thereby our ability to show up as a beneficial presence in community, beloved community with people of color at Ahiah and in the wider community. So as you know, for many years, over 3.5 years, the people of color at Ahiah have been meeting in the Ubuntu Circle. And we want to begin to develop that kind of community for the white folks, because the strongest multiracial communities have both things going on, people doing their particular work and then weaving together that work as they come together, which we at Ahiah have through the Building Beloved Community monthly meetings. And as the great Reverend Howard Thurman and theologian said, we have to practice how to do this, how to be in multiracial community in a racist society. And so we've got to do our part in practicing as well. So I would really invite you to join us. There's more information on the website. Let Reverend Scott and I know if you have any questions. And I look forward to seeing you there.
Or in our philosophy, but it's also good as a refresher for anybody and everybody. So that's starting, it'll be on Wednesdays. Usually my classes are on Tuesdays. This time around, I've decided to do a Wednesday so that some people who haven't been able to do Tuesdays can come in. So love to have you there. And so let's go ahead and go to our final song. I'm just trying to scroll to it, our congregational. If you'd like to stand up, please feel free.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. When my heart is open wide, yes, I'm only here for God. No more troubles, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am here in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggles, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am here in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm Yes, only here for God.
Yes, yes, yes. Join me in the benediction. It's showing on the screen. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is in all of my affairs. I accept it. I am it, and I share it. Just the way it appears, and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. Amen and amen. I love you guys. It's been a pleasure being here with you. I am looking forward to hot potatoes loaded with love. And if you can't stay around for that, I hope to see you next week.